running back, Brandon Allen. We also had 3 seniors who were selected. Next, outstanding defensive player. He led the team with 72 tackles and set a new school record with 16. He led the team catching 17 passes for 236 yards, 7 touchdowns. He was selected for his second year to almost.
Davis drove 2 trips up, and she's also our most valuable player this year. Goes to Ashley Bueller. Ashley by far is the heart and soul of the volleyball team. She fundamentally has some wonderful skills, and she can take her game to whatever level she wants to. That's a lot. Thank you, guys.
This year was especially hard throughout individual awards. If it were up to me, I'd give an award to every girl on both squads. They're all that deserving of it. Because of the great success of both squads, I felt the need to recognize the JV cheerleaders, also by handing out my own Coach's Most Valuable JV Cheerleader and Most Improved JV Cheerleader, in addition to the Coach's Spirit Award. All of these awards were voted on by the squad and myself. This year's most improved baby cheerleader could not have gone to a number of girls, on the squad because they all accomplished so much during the season. They have all improved their skills and techniques so much, individually and as a team. Their success this year has certainly showed that, but one young lady stood out just a little more. I'm not even sure if she was even thinking about trying out, but I had heard that she'd been hanging out with a couple of my past cheerleaders and had been learning some sideline cheers. She came into the main office one day, not really having met her before since she was a new student, and I asked her if she thought about trying out. She said not really, and that she had just been goofing around learning some cheers with a couple of friends. I asked her to consider it. I thought she might like it. So she tried out with a bundle of nerves all through the practices leading up to the actual tryout, like most girls are. And she would get frustrated at times trying to learn certain things. I remember her biggest worry was her approach for the 3 jump sequence, but she never gave up. This young lady was bursting with so much energy she could make my head spin, but in a very positive way. Her enthusiasm was contagious, and the rest of the girls on the squad and myself couldn't help to feel ambitious no matter how tired we were when she was around. She was so eager to learn and to do her best. She watched the girls who'd already been on cheerleading, and I could tell she made personal goals to be as good as they were. By the end of the season, she was learning varsity routines and feeling more confident with everything she did. I loved her enthusiasm and determination to be the best she could be. And that's why I'm proud to present this year's most improved JV cheerleaders to Megan Bell. Most valuable JV cheerleader. For many reasons, I knew this was going to be a very difficult season for this young lady. I made her a co-captain as an extra in seventh to make the season more challenging for her. I knew she was very capable of being a leader of her squad and was helping to shape them into the best team I knew this group of girls could be. They had a lot of experience, but needed someone to keep them focused and on task. She always came ready for practice, knowing exactly what she wanted to accomplish, and she set goals for the squad that I knew they could reach with a lot of hard work. She was also one of our more entertaining girls on bus rides, practices, and at the Christmas and the end of the season parties. I'm very proud of her and the way that she approached the season and for the excellent cheerleader she has become. She's a junior, one of my flyers, and very deserving of this award. Brianna Dreyer. Varsity Most Improved Cheerleader. This year's Most Improved Cheerleader was not a very difficult decision for me to make at all. The entire squad accomplished so much during the season. Their success can definitely be attributed to the fact that as a team, they all had the same goal, to bring home a trophy for the trophy case. They all have improved in their skills individually and as a team all season. The girls always went above and beyond what I asked of them, but I told them that it was the extra perfected thing that would win them an award, and they knew that. The majority of both squads went to gymnastic classes last summer and during the first half of the season. This was an area they knew we were weak in and figured they would do something about it. The entire squad always came to practice ready to work and with many new ideas, which were usually thought of outside of practice. They never gave up when it came to trying new things, like the swing mount, which became everyone's favorite, until they reached their goal, and there was never anything they thought they couldn't do. If it wasn't for the self-discipline, dedication, and determination of every single one of them, the awards they brought home to Oriskany may not have happened. This year's Most Improved Varsity Cheerleader goes to the entire squad. Would Katie Oki please come up and accept this award for the squad? Most valuable varsity cheerleader. This award was pretty much unanimous. After the season the girls had, every member was obviously valuable to the squad. I tried to narrow it down to just one person, but anyway I looked at it, there were two young ladies that were equally deserving of this award. Both girls are excellent role models and have been co-captains for the past 2 years. Along with their self-discipline, dedication, and love for the sport, so to speak, they are both prime examples of girls who think cheerleading is a privilege and consider it an honor to be able to represent their school and community in and out of their uniform. One of the young ladies was pretty much the one we looked to when we needed new routines or ideas. We used her individual tryout routine as a new group cheer, and she also came to practice for 3 new sideline cheers one day, having much patience teaching all of us in the squad. Her talents are endless when it comes to this area of cheerleading. Because this routine was so creative, it had much to do with the awesome year the squad had. She's a junior, a front base and mount, and has been on the varsity for 2 years. She is also the recipient of this award last year. Tracy O'Connor. The other young lady was the one I usually relied on to keep everyone on track and focused when things got a little tense. When the girls are putting together new routines or getting ready for competition, their nerves tend to get a little fragile and their patience a little thin. She's the one that always came up with the right decision and knew exactly how to keep everyone calm. Her leadership ability, patience, and willingness to help her teammates has played a big part in the success of the squad. She's a senior, a side baseman now, and has been on varsity for 4 years. Katie Oki. The last award I have is called the Coach's Spirit Award. The Coach's Spirit Award is presented to a JV or varsity cheerleader who, in my opinion, represents the true meaning of what a cheerleader should be in her ability as a cheerleader and the way she represents her school and community. This year, I'd like to present this award to a young lady who has more spirit than I can handle sometimes. She eats, drinks, sleeps, breathes, and thinks of cheerleading 365 times, days a year. She's always loaded with ideas, always ready to work, and puts 110% in everything she does. She has girls over in her house constantly, working on routines, new and old. Her mother could probably do the routines that she's heard so many times. She'll come up to me and start telling me something and say it so fast, and with so much enthusiasm that by the end of the first sentence, she was exhausted and I forgot what she said anyway. I went to her and asked her if she could come up with a slow motion routine to God Bless the USA for senior night. She had all set for the next day of practice. If this young lady puts as much effort and dedication into her future endeavors as she does in cheerleading, she will definitely go places. She's a sophomore, and this is her second year on varsity. I'd like to present this award of Most Spirited Cheerleader to Ashley Garrett.
We'd like to come back up here, please. This year, you are the fastest girl in Section 3, Class D, and I'm going to present you with the 100-meter dash championship. You're doing a great job this year. Thank you. I want to wish everyone here the best. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Okay, the girls varsity softball honorable mention goes to our starting catcher, Danielle Anderson. Danielle had 17 hits this year, 14 RBIs, did a real good job behind home plate. So the first honorable mention was to Danielle Anderson. Honorable mention goes to a young lady who helped shore up our defense this year in the infield. She was our starting second baseman, Rachel Morehouse. She also really improved on her hitting.
First, I'd like to take some time to give some special thanks. First off to Mrs. Micah, Mr. Dool, Mr. Mettleman for their support as both administrators, but also as fans. The boys see you at the games, and they appreciate your support. However, they want to know why you don't wear your hats. Number two is the parents. For your carting them to and away from practice at all the odd practice hours, and because of the switched hours at the minute's notice due to Mother Nature, and most of all your support at the games, both home and away. We saw you, we heard you, and you never let up in your encouragement, whether we were up or down. For that, we thank you. And last, I'd like to thank mostly an individual who I asked to give us a hand in the late winter. He did it immediately, and he did it for free. We don't have paid assistant baseball coaches in Class D. He was an outstanding player in our program a few years back, and he brought with him the work ethic that he developed in our program, and he used it in working with this year's players, as well as trying to pass that ethic on to them. Our improved outfield play can be greatly attributed to his efforts daily, More so, I think the attitudinal changes throughout the season were muchly due to his efforts. He had to leave us at the end of the season, for can you believe this, a job? We understand. Thank you for your efforts. Coach Bob Kern, please stand. All-Stars, as we speak, the Center State Conference baseball coaches are attending their annual all-you-can-eat end-of-the-year steak dinner. As always, they do on the same day as Mrs. Micah schedules this event. I guess she felt I didn't need the few pounds of steak, so I had to make up for it in Italian sausage. At this banquet, baseball stars will be named. I know who they will be. So first off, let me look at the honorable mentions. We had two. They were the team's number 3 and 4 hitters, as well as having the team's number 3 and 4 on-base percentage. 341 and 316 batting average, and 583 and 571 on-base percentages. Todd and Brandon. On-base percentage and stolen bases in league play. One of them hit 487 with 19 hits, 11 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases, and a 680 on-base percentage. He was also our most active pitcher with 40 innings pitched in 8 of our 15 games. His record was 2 and 3 with a team leading 3.03 earned run average. Senior Dan Granado. Didn't give you yet. That's the picture you don't get taken. Number 2 hit 409 with 18 hits, 12 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, and a 673 on-base percentage. Also a 2 and 3 pitching record and a 3.23 ERA on base. This year's most improved player was one of several who began the season at much lower performance levels than they would finish at. Our outfield began the season with every fly ball being a major adventure, and it finished as a sound unit fielding most anything that was hit in the air. We had 4 players who began the season with a total of 24 strikeouts in the first 7 games. They had a total of 12 in the last 7 games. The whole team continuously got better, but the standout started the season without a job. He was thrust into a starting role by a season-ending illness to a teammate, got better with every outing, and developed into a steady force behind the plate. He picked runners off the bases, and he threw runners out attempting to steal. This is an amazing accomplishment when you consider the fact that he was a freshman. Eric Rothman.
Yeah.
We also have a special award that we give annually. It's called the Piggy Award. Piggy collects all the money for the fines. The annual Piggy Award goes to a player who doesn't necessarily put up the numbers, but he's always exercising his best efforts. He gets dirty. He works hard to improve himself. He never sets a bad example. He cheers on his teammates, and he's always a team player. Sometimes he starts, sometimes he rarely plays at all. This year's recipient paid his dues on the bench early in his career. Then he became a spot starter, then a starter, but DH for, and finally a starter on a regular basis, both in the field and in the batting order. He exemplifies what the Piggy Award stands for. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight. I'll get the award to him. It's Nate Morris. This year's most valuable player has been a 3-year starter, 2-time All-League player. He led this year's team both statistically and by his leadership qualities on and off the field. He has a very sharp competitive edge. If he had a fault, it was in having too much of this. In order to take the pressure off his teammates, he always tried to do more than he could do himself. He's going to be playing next year at Mohawk Valley. Stand around.
Mrs. Bernardo, if you'd like to come up here and.
All right, and the new members are Leah. Carolyn Lopez. Megan Bowles. Jackie Murphy. Valerie Carr. Katie Berry. Elby Hickman. Katie Richards. Melissa St. Thomas. Deanna Aiello. Todd Allen. Eric Rothsteiner. Justin Williams. Chris Galante. Mark Buno. Matt Flynn. Joe Hazeltine. William Taylor. Joe Fleming. Ed Miller. John Diskin. Eric Latundras. Pat Backwith. John Muleback. Nate Jalowitz. Joshua Stewart. Chad Miller. And Marco Lodi.
Outstanding Freshman Athlete Award. This award is given to one female and one male freshman athlete who has participated in either our modified JV or varsity level. This award is selected and presented by members of the Oriskany Varsity Club. This year's Outstanding Female Freshman Athlete, Carly Lopez. Outstanding Male Freshman Athlete, Todd Allen. Thank you, Mr. Donato. I'd like to call upon Ashley Elsasser for the presentation of the Dirty Speaker Award. Renee Lilio, Jackie Murphy, Chris Deal, Matt Samail, Mark Buno, Marco Elodi, Ashley Elsasser, Melissa St. Thomas. Juniors, Ryan O'Connell, Tracy O'Connor, Danielle Rash.